joining us today for another episode of What's Your Why Wednesday. Today, I am here with the incredible Tashara Turpin. She is the broker owner of Infinity Home Loans Group. All right, Tashara, so happy to have you here, and I can't
I'm
wait.
always happy to talk to you.
Yes, and I can't wait to hear your why. But listen, most of us come into this industry by accident. But we stay in this industry because it's tied to our personal and professional why.
Absolutely.
At this moment, Tashara, I would love to hear. Please share with us, what's your why?
So I have to be completely honest. I kind of feel like our whys change over time, depending on where we're at in life. And I just kind of went through like a little life change. And so my why has kind of changed a little bit. So I think the last time we talked, my why was about my kids and my family. And now that my family is kind of grown and kind of out of the house and on their own, my why is a little bit different now. I don't have to get up every day and work for them anymore. So it took me a little bit of soul searching. And I think I finally found out my new whys.
Oh, I can't wait to hear now.
I'm choosing my why now is I'm choosing. So I went through the survival phase and raised my kids, and that was my why before. Now I'm just wanting to focus and live my life purposefully. And I think what that means for me is, I've been so blessed and I've been able to, be in this industry and succeed and be able to provide for my kids and still be able to, make every field trip, every soccer practice, every baseball game, whatever was going on. And I want to give that to other people. I want to give that to single mothers. Because I was a single mother, and this business really allowed me to be there for my kids and to provide, the same as I would have had with two incomes. So that's really my why now. And I think after coming back from the WWE summit, it just like set my soul on fire for whatever reason, just being around all those women and, just hearing their stories. Like I came back changed. I really did. And so my why changed for sure.
So tell me how you're going about that, Tashara. What are you doing that is leading you on this path of purpose?
So it's really uncomfortable. I'm not very big about talking about my story and sharing things about myself because, I kind of grew up in an environment where you just don't do that. But I really found, without even really realizing, that the things I was doing were people were watching me. And I had no idea. Like I was just trying to survive. I was just trying to feed kids, survive, make it to the next day, make it through drop-offs, make it through practices, and just, whatever I had to do to get through it. I can't even pinpoint a time, but I just remember I think it was the very first summit that I went to. And somebody walked up to me and they're just like, oh my God, like I've been wanting to meet you. Like my whole purpose coming to the summit this year was to meet you. Like I wanted to meet you. And I was like, what? Meet me? Why? I'm just a normal person just trying to like make it through like everybody else. But they had been watching me and they had been watching the things that I was doing. They watched my personal page and they saw like I was doing all these things with my kids. I was still able to, do all these things. And I mean, I have a decent lifestyle for my kids and they wanted to know how I did it. And then I started getting those questions a lot, like people asking me, inboxing me, like, how are you doing it? How are you doing it? And I'm like, yeah, how am I doing it? And I had to take a step back and like, what am I doing? And I think I kind of figured it out. And I want to help other people be able to do the same thing, because quality life is everything, and especially for a single mom, we're too busy working. We don't have a chance to enjoy our kids. And I think every woman should be able to enjoy their kids and make a decent living.
I love it. And that makes me so happy and so excited for you and for anyone else that comes in contact with you. And Tashara, you've heard me say it before that people are always watching. And
I know.
I know you don't realize it. And it's, we all know our children, of course, are watching us. So That's one component, right? But then it's the rest of the people too. A lot of times people are shy. They may not comment. They may not, actually show you that they're watching, but they are. And that's why it's so important that we are mindful that what we put out there, whether it's how we show up, whether it's the views that we share, whether it's the advice that we give, it does make a difference. And that leads me to my second question. Well, we have such a blessing being in the mortgage industry that we make an impact on other people's lives. And sometimes we don't realize how big of an impact that is. but I would love to hear a story of a moment when you realized that impact that you have made on someone else.
I'd have to go back to what I just said. I mean, honestly, like, I literally had no idea. I just felt like I was surviving to make it to the next day. I had no idea people were actually watching my struggle, watching the things that I put out, and they actually had an opinion about it, little old me. And so when this woman came up to me and she's just like, I almost felt like she was like starstruck. She's just like, oh my God, you're the one person I wanted to meet. I was like, whoa, like I really impacted. She told me, she's just like, look, I've been following you. I watch your personal stuff. I see everything that you do. And I really realized at that point, I'm like, everything that like we're given a responsibility, kind of like we're kind of in the spotlight, even as loan officers, mortgage brokers, like we're in the spotlight and people are watching us and they want to know how we got to where we're at. And I think they're afraid to ask and they're intimidated. They don't want to feel stupid. And I want to take that off the table. So I'm starting to write a lot about my journey. And so I think it's very uncomfortable for me, but that you asked like what's one thing that I'm trying to do to like, get in front of more women and stuff. And that's what I'm doing. So I made a commitment to you guys. I'm going to write that book. I told you I would, and it's going to be about that, how I made it through. So hopefully it'll help somebody.
You absolutely have to. And I'm telling you, when you do that, two things happen. Number one, yes, of course, we're doing it so somebody else to be able to read it and learn from it. But it also is very therapeutic for you. It really does allow you to go through the process of kind of reliving that and releasing it, right? You're relive and release. So yes, we're very excited about that. And we know that it'll be awesome and we'll be watching.
I know.
We will be watching.
I know. I love it.
All right. One final question. So Tashara, you've been in this industry for a bit. You've learned so many valuable lessons. What would be a piece of advice that you would share with someone new that might be coming into the industry?
If you're coming into this business for what it can do for you financially, don't get in it. Just do us all a favor and just don't even bother. Like, honestly, this business is for people who want to serve the community. And I found that by serving our community, we serve first and we worry about the rest later. Like, our community ends up taking care of us. So that's my biggest piece of advice. Serve your community first. Everything else will fall into place after.
Agreed. Thank you so much. You are amazing. We can't wait to continue to follow and watch. It's so wonderful. We wish you all the best.
Thank you. I love you.
Take care.